Hello, everybody, and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43, and tonight we are back in the Grossa Kurfürst. By choice! I know, crazy. Nobody would have seen that coming. Also, welcome back. I know a lot of y'all probably missing me a little bit because I'm not posting as many videos, even though I'm posting way more videos than I've ever posted. But you get the drift. Anyway, we are going to be in the Grossa Kurfürst because of Azure Lane Prince Heinrich. That is the only reason I would ever take this thing willingly into battle. We're running Andrew Cunningham and Azure Lane, Colorado. We have Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Marksmanship, and we have Heinrich's Hunch Punch for fun, because why not? Anyway, we also have Fight Fire with Fire. I apologize for my voice, man. I have not been feeling very good the last couple of days, which is also why I haven't really done any streaming or anything like that. It's been a miserable couple of days. Anyway, we are running Aiming Systems Mod 1. I'm actually running Damage Control System Module in here. I don't know if that's necessarily the best opportunity for me, but it is what I'm using at the moment, so there's that. Concealment System Modules. We are running Main Battery Mod 3 Epic version, so every 30,000 damage we get a little bit more faster reload. We are, of course, running the 420mm guns, so I personally prefer them. I've never actually used the 406s too much, but I've never had any problems with the 420s, so I don't see a reason to go to the 406s. I like the 420s, but anyway. We're running the Hector flag, of course, and we have the Type 1 camo that I made permanent. With this build, 105,000 hit points. You could go further if you want to get more hit points. 105's plenty. We have the 4 triple turrets, 12 guns total, 19.7 kilometers of main firing range. Reload is 27.8, so not too shabby there. Our shell grouping with this in the Kurfürst is 2.2, which is hilarious. And these guns are shocking to some people because they seem to just do things that you wouldn't expect. A lot of times, like they'll pin angles that are weird, like it's just weird. But as you can see, there's not a whole lot of fanciness here. I mean, the HE shell maximum damage 5,000, 105 millimeters of penetration. I don't know why so many people are spamming HE out of this thing. It's just not worth it. Your better bet is to use the AP most of the time. Most of the time. There are situations where shooting the HE is okay, but most of the time you're going to want AP. But here's the weird thing. This thing has just standard penetration angles, 45-60. So I don't know why this thing tends to pin at strange angles. Maybe it's just the way that the ship looks, like when you're looking through the turrets and stuff. Maybe you think that a ship isn't quite as angled, or is more angled than they are. I don't know. Maybe it's a visual thing, but it just seems like this Kurfürst will just punch people at weird angles, both on the giving and the receiving side. But anyway, with all of that, secondaries are not this thing's primary, obviously. If you want to build into secondaries, you can be sad. But personally, for these mainline battleships, I just build into the main guns. The reason being is the secondaries are so ineffective most of the time, even when you build fully into them, that it's just not worth. It's not worth it. And besides that, most of the battles that you get into nowadays, trying to get up close and personal, is going to get you on the receiving end of the Louisiana, going to get you on the receiving end of Agilian torpedoes. It's going to get you on the receiving end of all the Dutch cruisers. Like, yeah, it's not a fun situation. So having some standoff ability is kind of nice in this thing, and allows you to move the ship around, which a lot of people simply don't do very well in the Kurfürst for some reason, probably because it's a gigantic behemoth. Other than that, our maneuverability is atrocious. Rudder shift of 20.4 seconds. Again, not sure why I don't have my rudder shift. 90% of the time, I'm going to have the rudder shift right here, so I don't know why. It's still not going to be great, obviously, but that'll help with the rudder shift situation a little bit. So yeah, instead of 20.4, it is now 15.5. So you get an extra 5 seconds on your rudder shift, which is nice. But you wouldn't believe the amount of times that extra 5 seconds comes in real clutch when coming to dodge torpedoes and stuff like that. I do a pretty good job of anticipating where torpedoes are coming from most of the time, but sometimes you just don't have a choice. Concealment, though, 13.8, which seems kind of crazy for a Kurfürst, considering the size of the ship. But again, we are running the concealment modules, so that's to be expected. What is our stats like in the Kurfürst? 60% win rate, so respectable, not great. Almost 150 battles, not too bad. 40% main gun accuracy. Again, shows that the guns have never been the issue. Like, the main guns have never been a problem for me in this thing. It's a solid ship most of the time. But the fun thing about the Kurfürst and the Preußen and the Friedrich der Grosse is that it is the ship that cannot be overmatched. Well, mostly cannot be overmatched. You can see that there is a little bit of armor right there that can be overmatched by a Yama, specifically with plunging fire. But yeah, generally speaking, you can't be overmatched by a Yama. So that allows you to do some crazy things sometimes. But you got to just be aware that this thing will get absolutely yeeted if you're just caught broadside all the time, which seems to be the only way anybody ever plays it, is just broadside all day, all the time, and they're usually the first one dead. But you guys know the rest of this. There's not a whole lot to go over there, so let's get straight into the gameplay so that you guys can see the tragedy that is about to behold our old Grosse Kurfürst. Alrighty, so we're going to be on shards, and we are in the Grosse Kurfürst. Now, I need to show off a couple of things early into this match that are mind-boggling, and only get more mind-boggling the longer the match goes on. Namely, this Mino. This Mino is going to make all the classic Mino mistakes, and is never, ever, ever going to be paying attention to what's around him or understand what his ship can and can't do. Okay? It's not hating the player, it's just simply pointing out the obvious. I just want you guys to keep an eye on him because it's kind of funny how just completely unaware this fella actually is. Anyway, so we'll go over that as we get there. And again, this is where I say play all the ships because you understand, like, all the different things that go through a situation, right? Like, I know the Mino, and generally speaking, around a 6-kilometer smoke firing penalty. Could be a little bit less, I forget, maybe 5-9, something like that, but around 6 kilometers. And just the sheer lack of understanding is on full display. But right out the gate, we are actually going to have a decent destroyer initially. He's going to go into the cap, and not only that, he told us we was going to look at that accuracy, though, man. Heinrich is disgusting for the German mainline battleships, right? Like, actually disgusting. And just nasty. 20,500 damage right out the gate on that Yama without a citadel. Just good old-fashioned multiple penetrations, right? Now, our destroyer did go straight into the cap and is doing his job, but I want you guys to pay attention. I fired my guns. I didn't get spotted, which usually tells me that the destroyer didn't push into Charlie. 99% of the time, their destroyer would have went into Charlie and would have been there to spot us. But for whatever reason, the destroyer doesn't do that this time. We get another good shot out at the Yama, bringing us up to 27,000. We got a Friedrich der Grosse pushing in here. What I want you guys to pay attention to next is watch my reaction to what's going on versus watch the Mino. First of all, Mino smokes up, but he started firing his guns before he smoked up, so he actually took a hit from the Yama, which could have been a death, like just straight up death. But watch, as soon as the Shima gets lit up, look at me. I am immediately looking at him, and I'm calling him out for the team, and the Mino is just blissfully unaware. Cannot be bothered. Fortunately for us, we have really good accuracy on this thing, and yeet! That's going to leave him with just enough for someone else to get the kill. Now, well done to the Schroeder for finishing him off. But you can see, once again, the Mino had no clue the guy was there. Just completely unaware, right? He's so busy shooting at the battleships that he can't be bothered to shoot at anybody else. Now, watch. The destroyer goes in, smokes up. He is going to miss all of his torpedoes, unfortunately. But he's got me to spot for him. So as long as the destroyer, doesn't get within 6 kilometers of this Friedrich der Grosse, he should be able to sit in a smoke screen and DPM the snot out of these guys, right? So he's doing a decent job early on, or she. I think it's something Mary or something like that on the gamer tag, so maybe it's a she. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because we don't care gender, we just care about performance, right? And initially, they do a pretty good job. Like I said, they go in, they capture the base, they spot for the team, they don't get themselves into trouble. We get ourselves in a position to help everybody, and I mean, we're just tearing this Friedrich der Grosse apart. And then, of course, he does eat a torpedo here. I don't know if that was Mino Torp or if that was one of the Gearing Torps. They look like they're moving pretty quick, so I'm going to say that was probably Mino. But Friedrich der Grosse is just getting chewed to pieces here. But, of course, he is being left alive, so we're going to fire our front guns one more time at him, and this guy's just like, what happened? What went wrong? Well, what went wrong is you're in a Frederick Gross and you charge straight into everything on our team, including a better version of yourself. And then, just from a skill standpoint, I kind of outplayed him. It's not hard to do when the person that you're up against decides to just go full broadside and sit there. I've got secondaries. Look at me go. Notice that his secondaries didn't really do crap, right? And I don't need secondaries. I've got guns, main guns, lots of them, lots of guns. But as we know, the Yama is around the corner. I was salivating here. I'm like, this guy's going to come around the corner full broadside. But I will give the Yama credit. That isn't what he does at all. He reversed initially, and then he's kiting away. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I don't chase kites. That doesn't mean I'm going to immediately turn broadside to a Yama and wait to get yeeted and lose 50,000 hit points in a salvo. I think it's a good couple of shells into us, but again, we have 105 to start with, so like these hits seem worse than they are most of the time. So what I notice a lot of people in the Grosse Kurfürst do is they compound the problem, right? They get hit for a little bit, maybe they get a couple of shells into the superstructure or something, and then they just make the problem worse by just going full broadside. Now here, the Schroeder's going in front of us, so I'm figuring he's going to be the one get shot at, right? And the Schroeder has much more effective secondaries than we do, which is silly when you think about it, but it is truth. Our secondaries are like fireworks most of the time. They're cute, but they don't actually do a whole lot, right? Can they be effective? Sure. Are they most of the time? Not really. So that's why I don't bother using them. Now, we lose a Preußen. Now, if you're paying attention to the map, we have map control, right? We have a destroyer in the middle. Again, that's the gearing that we had early. And we're going to try to get rid of this Yama. So he's making a turn as we come around the island. He's going to take a shot at us again. We're turning towards him a little bit to try to negate most of the damage, and he gets a nice chunk off of us, but he's gone, right? So we don't have to worry about him for the rest of the game. Now, one of the things that I'm going to get kind of annoyed with is I don't actually have my game chat on at this time, but you can see I'm trying to ping the map, and I want people to like start worrying about the fact that we have a destroyer in the cap right here. Now, I know there's a Njord over here on the right, so there's that, but the thing that I'm worried about is the fact that there's a destroyer flipping the cap in front of us. Points are going to be a big deal in this match, especially as time goes on, because never underestimate the ability of your team to throw a match. Up to this point, everything's been pretty smooth sailing, right? Nothing to complain about. So as we push in towards Bravo, I want you guys to pay attention to what our Mino's about to do. I want you guys to pay attention because that Mino is about to go all the way around the backside of Charlie, around the island where the Yama was hiding, and just disappears, right? But notice that Laffy gets himself into trouble, and again, this is why I put myself in these positions to be in position to win the games, right? Right? This is the difference. And I'm already anticipating the Torp strike. So even with a 20-second rudder shift, which you guys saw, I didn't change it until I was doing the build, so 20.5-second rudder shift, and I'm still able to dodge the torpedoes because I understand what's going on, right? It's not a huge bragging point or anything. It's just simply spatial awareness, understanding what's around you, right? Now, as you can see, Njord is going to push around the corner, right? So I've got to be ready for that. I know that they still have a destroyer left, but I'm trying to get into the cap and stop them from getting points through the cap right now. Njord is not that big of a threat. Can it be? Sure. Is it really? Not really. Not when you have this many big guns. You can kind of shred them pretty easily. But he's going to turn, and you know what he's doing, right? Like, it's pretty obvious. But it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, we have a defense over here and a Worcester over here. So we dodge the initial torpedoes, and you'll see that he's going to double back, and he's going to drop torps off the other side as well. And so we know what's going on, but as he's doing this, like we're going to get some nasty hits here. Look at the shot. Blam, blam, blam. Half his health at one salvo, no citadels, just pure penetration. We just hit 12 out of 12 shells, I think. I could be wrong. Might have been 11 out of 12. It's a lot out of 12. Anyway, as Njord comes around, I mean, again, you know what he's doing, right? But I'm going to go ahead and get a shot here into the superstructure area, and you can see the torps are coming. I'm trying to get angled towards them, but again, 20.5-second rudder shift. Like, when somebody's doing the dip, dodge, and dive, and you can see how many I dodge. Look at the dodging. Like, this is 20.5 seconds. This is like worst case scenario, and I'm still dodging the majority of torpedoes. I eat a couple here and there. Ain't that big a deal. Now here, I ain't gonna lie. I go to shoot this Worcester, but just as I'm about to pull the trigger, the Kurfürst rear firing angles strike again. The literal worst firing angles on any battleship in the game when it comes to trying to get those rear turrets involved. And unfortunately, because I'm trying to double back and try to put myself in position to get closer to the island, I end up eating a couple of torpedoes here, and that's going to cost me a couple of reasons. One, it allows me to dodge from the torpedoes on our left, which is fine. But it's also going to mean that my cruiser friend, who's in the Schroeder, who's going to decide to bite off more than he can chew, he doesn't have any help right now. I pick up the Confederate, 138,000 damage. Our engine's knocked out. I can't get there to help him. I am on comms at this point, begging this man to, like, stop. Just come back. Please come home. Don't go away. But he's just charging straight in the middle of all of that DPM, right? Now, I want you guys to think about that before what happens ends up happening, right? I'm still coasting forward. I can't stop. I can't do anything about it. I'm trying to get there to help him, but I'm just watching his health just melt away. And then the downside of what happens is I'm about to get my engine back and then immediately regret it. Because as we get our engine back, it's going to start moving me forward. I still haven't put myself in reverse to stay behind the island here. And so as soon as, and you can see I do it too late, that little burst of energy that we got is just enough to put me out in front of this freaking defense. So we're going to take a shot at the defense here, and you can see we're kind of popping in and out of existence, and then we get radared by the Worcester, and of course that's going to trigger my battleship go Bert moment, where Worcester's within 9 kilometers, he's shooting at my destroyer, I've got to stop that, right? Like, there's not much choice here. I don't really have a choice. I have to get out here. I have to end the threat of the radar so that our team has the best possible chance to win, even if it means that I'm dead, right? So we get a shot here, and I know that the Worcester has a 32 millimeter of bow armor, right? So we don't shoot the bow. We don't overmatch it. We shoot the superstructure. We shoot the upper side plating, and then, of course, he's going to try to get his full firepower to bear, and we're just going to send him straight home. And, of course, Mino gets the kill. Notice that the Mino is now officially coming back around behind us, right? But that firing the guns is now put me in position to get yeeted. They are spotting me through the smoke. The destroyer is actually not the thing that's spotting me, shockingly. But you can see right there the defense is going to get spotted. I'm going to take my guns here. I shouldn't have fired. I should never have fired my guns here because he actually missed. I thought I was dead. I thought I was dead. And then, of course, all my shells just boop off to God knows where, and I end up spotted just long enough for the defense to get another salvo away. And unfortunately, even he isn't dumb enough to miss the huge superstructure of this thing twice. When you only have 4,000 hit points left, it doesn't take much to finish you off. But I will say this. What you're about to witness is one of the dumbest situations I think I've seen in a while, and that's saying something, because we see dumb situations all the time. First of all, Gearing is being chased from behind. He does have a smoke screen, or she does have a smoke screen. She drops the smoke screen to break contact, but she is right in front of this motherfucking defense. If this defense had shot them, the Gearing dies, right? Like, if that defense has got HE loaded, the Gearing dies there. But fortunately, that's not what happened. So that allows the Gearing to start charging closer to the defense, you know, certain death. And then this happens. The defense is actually keeping the Gearing is keeping the defense spotted. And this Mino is going to sit here and shoot from a smokescreen. Here's the problem. The Mino's doing minimal damage, right? Like, it's a bow-in freaking cruiser, and seemingly the Mino is a terrible shot. I don't know. I'm just calling it as I see it. Because when you see the sheer lack of damage being done for the next 3 minutes, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. But here you can see the Mino is backed up. And I'm in the chat right now telling him, hey, watch for torps coming from Bravo. Because the destroyer was clearly at Bravo. We saw him. and is capturing the base right now. Thankfully, the destroyer decides to go for the base cap instead of coming over here to help spot these guys. And again, this is just completely unaware, right? The destroyer could have easily come over here, got within 6 kilometers, spotted this Mino. The defense kills it, right? But here's the other thing. This Mino has no idea of self-preservation, still just continuing to shoot at a ship that is approaching it and not doing any damage. I mean, look at... Every once in a while you see a little bit of damage being done, but most of the shells are just missing. Just completely whiffing. And then he gets within 6 kilometers, I'm like, the next time this guy reloads, you're dead. And he fires his guns and somehow f***s it up. I don't know how the defense screws this up. It's the easiest kill of his life. And then the destroyer gets spotted. I'm like, oh my god, shoot the destroyer. This is a salvation moment. This destroyer has thrown the game. And then the obvious happens. The defense gets the whacking. So congrats to the defense. But the Mino kept shooting the defense instead of just killing the destroyer there. Fortunately for us, that destroyer is just as clueless as our destroyer. But our destroyer at least has the wherewithal to understand that we're winning the game. Just run away. Just for the love of God, get away. Don't do anything stupid. Just run away. And I don't know, man. These are the moments that just make you question everything about everyone that you ever see in a video game. Because you guys see it live. I mean, what more can I tell you? Like, I can understand smoking up while you have spotting and stuff like that, but when you watch certain death closing in and you still don't move, knowing, or apparently not knowing, that your smoke firing penalty is about to be encroached, like, it's mind-boggling to be at this high a tier and see that stuff. But top of the leaderboard in the Gross Kurfürst, showcasing once again that, you know, even in a gigantic sausage of a ship, I can still come up and do a couple of good things. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.